What would you do if the person you trusted most lied right to your face? Some people scream. Some beg. Me? I stayed silent and waited because I knew when the truth came out, it wouldn't just crack her mask. It would shatter the one thing she cared about most, her perfect image. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you thought had your back, hit that like button and subscribe, because this isn't just a revenge story. It's about holding a mirror up to someone who spent years dodging their own reflection. Let's dive in. My name's Ethan, I'm 32, and I live in Seattle, Washington. For 5 years, I thought I was building a life with a woman I loved, Clara. To the world, she was a star. Magnetic, charming, always flashing that perfectly timed smile that could light up a room. Friends adored her. Strangers wanted to be her. And I was the guy who believed every word she said. Behind that smile, though, was someone I didn't know at all. For most of our relationship, I was the one holding us together. I paid the bills when her freelance gigs fell through. I planned our weekend getaways, always making sure she had the Instagram-worthy moments she craved. I even covered for her when she forgot friends' birthdays or bailed on plans last minute. I told myself she was just stressed, maybe a little scattered. Love has a way of turning red flags into quirky personality traits, doesn't it? Then one night, everything changed. I was cleaning the kitchen. Nothing special, just wiping down counters after another long day, when I spotted something odd, a receipt tucked in the side pocket of Clara's purse. A restaurant I'd never heard of. 2 entrees. 2 glasses of wine. Dated a week ago, when she told me she was working late. My stomach twisted, but I tried to brush it off. Maybe it was a coworker, I told myself. Maybe a client lunch. But something gnawed at me, like an itch you can't ignore. So I dug deeper. That receipt led to a napkin. On the napkin, a phone number, scribbled in handwriting that looked way too familiar. My hands shook as I grabbed her phone. She thought she deleted the messages, but she forgot about the cloud. Rookie mistake. What I found? Late night plans. Secret meetups. Promises that weren't meant for me. 5 years of my life unraveled in a single night. Each text message like a punch to the gut. Photos of them laughing together. Her calling him babe. The kind of betrayal that doesn't just break your heart. It rewrites your reality. Most people think when you discover cheating, you lose it. You yell, you cry, you throw things. But I didn't. I froze. For 3 days, I slept on the couch, cooked dinner, asked about her day like nothing was wrong. On the outside, I was the same old Ethan, calm, dependable, maybe even a little boring. Inside, I was a storm, planning every move like a chess game. Those 3 days were torture. It was like watching a horror movie when you know the killer's behind the door, but the main character keeps walking toward it. I studied Clara. The way she laughed a little too hard at my jokes. The way she avoided my eyes when she thought I wasn't looking. The way she still kissed me goodnight, as if the truth wasn't burning a hole in my pocket. On the 4th day, Clara announced she was hosting a dinner party to celebrate a big work win. She was in her element, curling her hair, picking out the perfect dress, practicing her laugh in the bathroom mirror. She wanted to shine, to be the center of attention, and I let her think she would. I showed up to the dinner with a cheap bottle of wine and a smile so brittle it could have cracked under the weight of a feather. Our closest friends were there, laughing, clinking glasses, completely unaware of the bomb I was about to drop. Clara was in her glory, pouring drinks, telling stories, basking in the glow of everyone's admiration. I let her have every second of it, because I knew the curtain was about to fall. When dessert hit the table, I stood up. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't waver. I raised my glass and said, to honesty, to trust, to the things that hold friendships and relationships together. Everyone clapped, thinking it was just a sweet toast. They had no idea what was coming. I reached into my bag and pulled out something I'd spent all morning preparing. A photo album. At first glance, it looked like a sentimental scrapbook. Pictures of Clara and me on vacations, at birthdays, laughing over coffee. Moments we'd shared over 5 years. But tucked between those smiling photos were the receipts, the napkin with the phone number, screenshots of her messages, printed in crisp, undeniable clarity. I passed the album around the table. One by one, our friends flipped through it. Smiles faded, eyes widened, whispers turned to silence, the kind of silence that feels like the air's been sucked out of the room. You could hear a fork clatter against a plate. You could hear hearts breaking. And Clara? Her face went white as a ghost. Her fork slipped from her hand, hitting the table with a dull thud. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. For once, her charm couldn't save her. I didn't yell. I didn't point fingers. I just let the truth do the talking. That album was my voice, my proof, my way of saying, this is who you really are. Before anyone could ask her a single question, Clara grabbed her bag and bolted. No excuses. No apologies. Just the sound of her heels clicking down the hallway and the door slamming behind her. Shame trailed her like a shadow. Our friend stayed, shell-shocked. They mumbled things like, I'm so sorry, Ethan, and call me if you need anything. For the first time, I believe they meant it. They saw her for who she was, not the polished version she'd sold them for years. The next morning, I filed for separation, changed the passwords to our joint accounts, packed her things into boxes, and left them by the door. I didn't post about it online. I didn't call her parents or blast her to mutual friends. I didn't need to. That album had done more damage than any social media rant ever could. It stripped away the story she'd spent years crafting. That we were happy, that she was loyal, that our life was picture perfect. Her greatest strength, her image, her reputation was gone. Not because I tore it down, but because she did. I just held up the mirror. For a week, it felt good. Like I'd taken back something she'd stolen from me. I felt strong, like I'd won. But then the quiet crept in. The empty apartment. The silence at night, when I'd reach for her side of the bed and find nothing but cold sheets. Revenge doesn't heal you. It just closes one wound so you can start dealing with the others. I don't hate Clara. I don't even wish her pain. I tell myself I didn't do this to hurt her. I did it to make her see herself. The way I finally did. Maybe she'll learn from it. Maybe she won't. But I walked away with my dignity intact. And sometimes that's the best kind of justice you can get. If this story hit you hard, smash that like button and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or lived through? Was it loud and messy, or quiet and calculated like mine? And don't forget to subscribe, because we've got more real stories coming your way. Stories that prove karma always finds a way, even if it takes a photo album to get there.